Bonkers. You're watching Wednesday's Wright Stuff with Adam Garcia, Kirsty Gallagher and Les Dennis. Thanks for choosing us this morning. It's still to come today. Beware e-baby buyers. I want to know what your kids have bought online without your knowledge. Clothes, designer drugs, anything else. 0207 173 I thought it was pond cleaner, Mum. 0207 173 5555 is the number for your stories. What about a £5 conservatory? Can anyone beat that? Such a good story, that. And it's true. First, though, it's a big story down south. It'll be interesting to hear the views from all of us around the country as we're all paying for it. And that's should they keep the hugely expensive Olympic Stadium, a multi-sport venue, after the 2012 Games, even if no one wants to use it? Is it bonkers to even consider plans to bulldoze it and replace what might be a white elephant with a purpose-built football venue? 0207 173 5555 is the number. Now, a 2012 boss, Lord Coe, reckons flattening it would not only trash our international reputation, like we have one, but would see... Lager! But would see London renege on its promise to leave a legacy in track and field for generations to come. But come the 9th of September next year, straight after the Paralympic Games wrap up, something will have to be done. Someone will have to take it over. The favourites at the moment are Spurs and West Ham. Spurs want to demolish it. West Ham, though, they reckon they can work around the problem of having an athletics track effectively separating fans from close contact with a beautiful game. Spurs, they deny their scheme is an affront to athletics as they've promised to plough money into a new stadium at Crystal Palace. But even so, I mean... knocking down a perfectly good one that's cost you and me £500 million plus, does seem insane, doesn't it? But then, look what happened in Athens, host of the 2004 Games. Of the 22 sports venues they built, 21 are no longer in use and are being left to rack and ruin. And I'm going to pick on you again, Kirsty, because
Why?
You're our sports person.
You're going for me today, aren't you?
Sports person.
Well, I think it would be very sad to get rid of the Olympic Stadium if it was bulldozed. However, it would be sadder if it was standing there derelict.
And the football aspect, I mean, fans clearly don't like having a track separating them from the pitch.
Yeah, well, it's not ideal, is it? West Ham have said they'd sort of embrace that and work around that, which I think is great. And actually, their plans do sound, you know, they're very, very much after it, aren't they? Tottenham, I'm not so sure about because they're already...
How big a problem is the track for the fans' point of view?
I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you.
Atmosphere-wise, it must be.
Yeah, it's, you know, you are further away and it would be a problem.
But most people watch football on TV now,
yeah,
so, I mean...
Well,
not the fans that go.
No, and it would be a great stadium to watch a game. But the capacity of it is a problem, though, because it is...
It's too big.
It's too big, isn't it?
90,000.
I mean, you know, the...
Just rip some of the seats out. Flog them down a car boot sale, problem solved. More legroom.
I just don't know. It's a funny one, this, but would it be a problem? I mean, to get rid of it...
What I suggest is, why do we build a multi-sports centre in the East End of London if they didn't think they could actually use it as a multi-sport venue after the Olympics? I mean, that's the idiocy,
But they're talking about, you know, they could use it for a Rugby World Cup, for an athletics championship, you know, but it's going to be like once in a blue moon, isn't it?
Barcelona tried it, didn't they?
Yeah.
They tried it, and now it's a deserted home to pigeons. Yeah. And they tried to put the football pitch in the middle, and it didn't work.
So are you saying knock it down?
You know, well, the thing is with Tottenham, they want to bulldoze it and then also inject money into Crystal Palace as the athletics track. But the Tottenham fans are up in arms. A North London club is moving to the East End of London. They don't want to go. The fans don't want to go. And it's also going to take a lot of...
Mind you, Arsenal, if I remember right, was an East London club that moved into North London. So, I mean, you know, these things happen. Crystal Palace isn't in Crystal Palace anymore, is it?
No, that's true. But then it's going to take
somewhere in Milton Keynes.
All the people who rely on White Hart Lane in Tottenham, all the shopkeepers, and you know, they're all up in arms. And if they were to build a new stadium there, they're going to have to put houses under compulsory purchase order, aren't they?
Yes.
So there again, what is the best outcome for this?
So they're being given it. If they were to get the tenure, West Ham would be given it, and Tottenham would be given this
I'm
500
not
million.
entirely sure how it works because I know
They've
that
got to
in
get a partner. They've both got to get
Spurs
partners.
have got AEG, haven't they? A big
Yes,
entertainment
yeah.
company. But I believe there's also some demand or potential demand being placed on local residents as well, in terms of some council tax going through. As far as I recall, it is fiendishly complicated. But it all seems we're only thinking about it after we've built the bloody thing.
Yeah.
But that was like the Dome, wasn't it? And look at the Dome has become a success now.
Yeah.
Only because...
Eventually, it's
Yeah.
become a success.
Billions and billions of pounds down the drain first, though. What would you do?
I don't know. Well, it depends on if the Olympic Games makes back what they want it to, or if there's a loss, then that has to come into it.
Yep. Would our international reputation be trashed if we flattened it?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's going to be a business decision, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you going to fill 90,000 seats
That's going to be the thing,
all the
isn't it? Yeah.
time with athletics competitions or multi-sport competitions? Or is it going to be better business to knock it down and have someone make a football stadium out of it and know that you're going to guarantee 70 to 80,000 people week in, week out of a football season paying for it?
Isn't the problem also that when we got the bid, we promised that we would keep it? Didn't we?
That's a
I know.
What is this promised word of which you speak?
That's Nick Clegg.
They promised, the Lib Dems. I was going to say. We'll leave Nick Clegg alone for now. Let's throw it open to you. Flatten it, keep it, forget about it. What do people say?
OK, first we've got Gary on line 1.
Morning, Gary.
Morning.
What's your take on this? Keep it?
Well, it's interesting you ended on the government there because that's part of the issue. I'd agree with what Lord Coe has said in that we should keep the stadium, but what do we fill it with?
Well,
We've just cut all the funding for physical education in schools.
Yeah.
My partner's actually a teacher, and she's actually takes gymnastics classes after school. They've just had a competition, and the two teams that she has trained came second and third, so they would go on to the next round. They can't. They've just pulled all the funding. She can't even finish the term teaching them.
Now, Gary, you're saying, keep it as a multi-use venue, but what happens if people can't fill it? But this is the dilemma. What is the point of keeping a venue they can't use?
And that's what. And I would agree with that. Can we justify keeping it? I would love to see it.
Can we? I mean, that's the question. Can we justify keeping it?
And I don't think we can at the moment. And why are they not looking at the revenue they're bringing in from the games? Why are they not putting that back into improving sport in this country? Well, I think we're probably one of the worst countries for investing in sportsmen of the future or women of the future because we're not doing anything about it. I remember it's gone back years when I was at school. I was quite good at javelin and discus, but there was never any way that I was ever going to pursue that career because there was never any funding there. If I wanted it, I had to go out and find it.
But, Gary, we could just as easily, could we not see Crystal Palace, a venue close to my heart, it's just outside Croydon, I learned to swim there. We could pump money into Crystal Palace, an established multi-sport venue, put the football there and sort the problem out.
But football takes care of itself, to be fair, in that it gets television rights, it makes millions, it pays millions for its players, it brings it in from abroad as well, which is another thing I disagree with, is that most of our top teams of today are made up of foreign players.
It's appalling, isn't it? These foreigners coming over here, taking our British jobs. No, seriously, I know where you're coming from. Gary, thank you. I want to wrap it up because I've got my favourite talking point for months coming up after the breaks, and that's e-baby buyers beware. We're going to try and find out what your kids have ordered online without your knowledge. 0207 173 5555, that's the number for your tales. Clothes, music, movies, high-tech electric gizmos, that I can understand. But can any of you beat the tot who bought a conservatory online? Juliet O'Donnell, Facebook, to say, my friend's 3-year-old bid £9,000 for a toy ice cream van. Ouch. Your calls, 90 seconds from now.